All right, everyone, it is week 14 in the MASL. We have 10 games to pick this week, so let's jump right to it. Our first game of the week is on Friday, and it is my game of the week. We have the Milwaukee Wave visiting the Orlando SeaWolves. Now, I know both of these teams lost a game last week, but in both cases, it was the back half of a 2-game road trip, so we'll cut them a little bit of slack for that and look at the big picture. We have the Milwaukee Wave, a team that has been top tier and dominant all season, and the Orlando SeaWolves, a team that has certainly been surging as of late. Not only that, but these two teams, I believe, will be playing in the South Central playoffs to move on to the Eastern Conference Championship. So I think this game is going to be a lot of fun to watch and could very well be a preview of the playoffs. Now, the last time these teams played, Orlando pulled off the victory, and to me, that was kind of the first step they took to showing that they're for real. But Milwaukee was playing in the second game of a 2-game road trip, which, as I've already said, I think kind of puts a team at a disadvantage. And I also don't think Milwaukee really gave Orlando that much credit going into that game, because beforehand, the SeaWolves had not been playing that well. None of that is the case this time around, however, and I think that's going to give the Wave an edge, and I think it's going to be enough of an edge to give Milwaukee the win. Still on Friday, we have the San Diego Sockers hosting the Turlock Express. Turlock continues to struggle this season. They lost yet again this past weekend to the Stars, so I'm picking San Diego. And then finally on Friday, we have the El Paso Coyotes visiting the Tacoma Stars. Tacoma had a nice win this past weekend over Turlock, but then quickly turned around and had a heartbreaking loss to the Sidekicks in overtime. Tacoma has really not been playing at the level that I think they're capable of this season, but the level that they are playing at I think will still be enough to beat the Coyotes, so I'm picking the Stars. Moving on to Saturday, we have the Florida Tropics visiting the Orlando SeaWolves. The past few times these teams have played, Orlando has emerged victorious. I think Saturday's game will be tight, it'll be a good one to watch, but I still think the SeaWolves will come out on top. Still on Saturday, we have the Rio Grande Valley Barracudas visiting the Dallas Sidekicks. This past weekend, Dallas had a nice road win over Tacoma, and they've been playing some pretty good soccer as of late. I think they've been kind of under the radar about it a little bit, but I still think they've been playing pretty well. Meanwhile, RGV did beat Ontario this past weekend, but they didn't beat them as easily as I thought they should. It took them several shootouts in order to beat Ontario, and as I said, I think it should have been a lot easier for RGV. So given all of that, I think the Barracudas are primed for an upset this week, and I'm putting them on upset watch, and not only that, I'm picking the Sidekicks to win this game. And then finally on Saturday, we have the Harrisburg Heat visiting the St. Louis Ambush. To me, these two teams are very similar. They had rough seasons last year, but have been playing much better this year and have a very bright future ahead of them. But neither one of them are quite there yet. So to me, they're very much in the same boat that way. And honestly, I think their quality of play reflects that. I think they're both at right about the same level right now. So given all of that, and given that the game is in St. Louis, I'm going to pick the Ambush to win this one, but I still think it will be a tight match. Then on Sunday, we have the Baltimore Blast visiting the Mississauga MetroStars. Baltimore lost a tough game on Friday to Milwaukee, but then bounced back in a big way on Sunday with a 6-2 win over Utica. Meanwhile, Mississauga lost games to both Utica and Harrisburg, and neither one of them were really all that close. To me, not much has changed since the last time these two teams played, so I expect a similar result. I'm picking the Blast. Milwaukee Wave visiting the St. Louis Ambush. As I said, I think St. Louis has made some massive improvements this year, but that being said, Milwaukee just seems to have their number this year. The Wave have absolutely destroyed the Ambush every time they've played so far. Sunday's game might be a little bit closer, maybe, but I still think the Wave will win easily. Then we have the Harrisburg Heat visiting the Kansas City Comets. The Comets impressed me this last weekend. They beat the Orlando SeaWolves on Sunday, which I did not think they would do, and they beat them easily. Meanwhile, Harrisburg is playing on the second game of a 2-game road trip, which seems to be a recurring topic in this video, so I'm picking the Comets. And then finally for this week, we have the Dallas Sidekicks visiting Flash de Monterrey. The last time these teams played, Dallas pulled off an impressive win in Dallas, but Monterrey does seem to be playing a lot better since then. They had a good win over RGV a couple of weeks ago, so I'm picking the Flash to win this game. So that will do it for my week 14 predictions, but make sure you come back next week to see which ones I got right and which ones I got wrong, as well as to see my week 15 predictions. In the meantime, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.